This is something that I wish I knew when I started my coaching business. And our clients tell us this all the time. I wish I had started with this approach.
If you are waiting for passive clients to come to you, you're going to be waiting for a long time. And oftentimes we've seen a lot of coaches have to shut their doors because they're waiting, and nothing actually happens.
I send them a message, I tell them about my product or service, get them on a call, and then sell them. I have a much higher chance of building a sustainable business because I have more control.
Welcome to the Takeover with Tim and Cindy, where we show you how to dominate every area of life and business. Let's get winning.
Welcome back to the Takeover with Tim and Cindy. If you want to build a successful coaching business, you're going to want to lock into this episode. We're going to chat about our number one message to all coaches. Whether you are just starting your coaching business, maybe you are looking to start a coaching business this year, maybe you are an established coach and you want to grow. Our message that we're going to share with you in order to grow and scale your coaching business is built on us not only working with large coaching and training companies, seeing the back end of how they work and actually helping them scale. We've also supported hundreds of coaches in not only getting started, but getting consistent clients and revenue. So this message we're going to share with you today, our number one message to coaches, is going to help you bypass a lot of the pitfalls and thrive in any economy. So Tim, what is our number one message to all coaches?
Being active versus passive. Go out and actively acquire clients versus passively waiting for clients to come to you.
Yes.
I see this all the time in a lot of industries that we work with, but especially with coaches. They think there's going to be some magical thing that happens where if they build their social enough, they do enough like passive activities, that all of a sudden this flow of passive clients are going to be knocking on their door wanting to work with them, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't exist. The occurrences that it actually happens is so small, but it happens enough with enough influencers in the online coaching space that everybody thinks that that's the path that they should go. And the reality is, if you are waiting for passive clients to come to you, you're going to be waiting for a long time. And oftentimes we've seen a lot of coaches have to shut their doors because they're waiting, and nothing actually happens. Whereas active gives you full control over the growth of your business.
Yes.
The growth, the speed, the size. Massive difference. So you have to be active versus passive.
This is actively going out and reaching your ideal prospects, people that could potentially be a fit for your product or service, versus waiting for them to come to you. When I first started my coaching business, I was researching, how do I get clients, right? How do I actually grow and scale this? And a lot of information that is out there for coaches today emphasizes building a brand, emphasizes posting consistently on social media, emphasizes referrals. A lot of them are, focusing on those things, but the reality is the time it takes to build a brand, to build an established following, and even the byproduct of that, getting consistent clients, it takes a very long time. And the fruit of that is not predictable clients coming to your door week after week, right? And I fell into that trap too. Just if I build the brand enough, they will come. And that's not how to successfully build a coaching business. If you want to scale to those 6 and 7 figures plus, you have to take the active approach, which is go out and find your ideal prospects instead of waiting for them to come to you. We interact with a lot of coaches. Our business actually helps coaches grow and scale. And we hear this from our sales reps and from our client success managers, people that are interacting with our clients on a day-to-day, that they've tried the webinar, that they've tried posting on social media, that they've tried all these different avenues that are really passive, and they haven't been able to get it work until they come to us and we actively go out and find their ideal clients. So Tim, why does the passive approach not work? And when we say passive, this is something like posting on social media or building a brand and waiting for clients to come to you. Why does that approach not work?
Well, I mean, it works enough for enough people that everybody wants to do it. And so everybody preaches it. And guess who's preaching it? The influencer who already has a platform that already has, and they're preaching it like, just do what I did for the last 5 years, build an audience, and then people will come your way. That's how they built it. It's a very rare case that somebody builds enough influence. Let me walk you through 2 examples. One is I reach out to 1 million people, which I could do in the next 3 months. I get 1,000 meetings and I turn that into 100 clients. Now, our numbers would be much better than that, conversion rates. But just for the sake of this example, 100 clients, 10 grand each, that is $1 million. Now, the other example, for me to be able to have that kind of reach, number one, I have to go build this massive audience that could take 2 years. And then let's say I have 1 million followers. If I do posts, I'm not going to get 1,000 meetings from 1 million followers. You see what I'm saying? And even if you look at any of the platforms, the bigger your audience gets, the less reach you have. If you ever follow any of the accounts that have like 1 million followers, if they have really good content, they might get 3,000 likes. But likes don't equate to meetings or clients, right? So when I go proactively reach out to my audience, I can build the infrastructure, get the data, and reach out to my audience in a matter of a couple months, and from scratch to having my first 100 clients get there pretty quick, right? Whereas if I'm trying to build an audience, that takes years to build the audience. And then even my reach within my audience is limited to what the social platforms decide my reach should be that month, that week, that quarter, whatever. And as you and I know, they continue to limit the reach that the accounts has as they promote their ad platforms more and more and more.
Yes, so good. So the solution to that active approach is direct outreach. It's going out and reaching out to your prospects in their inbox, be it in email, LinkedIn. We do a lot of LinkedIn. It could be social DMs. If I can reach out to my prospect, I send them a message, I tell them about my product or service, get them on a call, and then sell them, I have a much higher chance of building a sustainable business because I have more control. I know if I reach out to 100 people and I get 10 meetings, I can just multiply that and scale it, right? Versus posting on social media, maybe doing a call to action in the caption and then waiting for people to respond to that call to action. It's very, very passive. Even though you're doing the activity of posting, it's still passive because you're waiting for the prospect to come to you versus you sending the DM, you're going out, finding them and getting them on a call.
Correct. And then the amount of time, effort, energy, money that it takes to even build an audience that's big enough and significant enough to get any kind of predictability in leads and clients, like that alone there is so much time, money, energy, effort to build an audience that even once you have that audience built, you're kind of at the mercy of how, Facebook or Meta or, whatever platform you're on kind of decides that they want to give you. Right?
Yep.
Whereas when I'm doing direct outreach, cold call, email, social DM, whatever those platforms that I want to reach out to on, it's very predictable. Hey, I'm gonna ask 1,000 people if they need help with blank. And out of those people, I'm gonna get X amount of meetings. And out of those X amount of meetings, I get X amount of clients. It's very input to output and predictable.
Yes, absolutely. This is something that I wish I knew when I started my coaching business. And our clients tell us this all the time. I wish I had started with this approach versus wasting time and spending thousands of dollars investing in social media courses or things like that what they were doing, the activities maybe got them some reach, but didn't get them clients and revenue. So ladies and gents, if you're listening to this and you are a coach and you want to build a multiple 6 or 7 figure coaching business and you want to get out of the feast and famine cycle, please listen to this, because this is tried and tested, but also it's from experience. We've gone through this process with coaches before. We've heard the lessons learned, and we've heard this so much from the coaches that we work with that they wish they had tried this approach sooner. So Tim, if somebody wants to get started on doing direct outreach, they want to actively go out and find their ideal clients, what are really simple steps that we can give to our listeners to help them start on that process?
So number one is you have to have the data. You have to, I have to have the people I'm reaching out to. I have to be able to have a lot of people I'm reaching out to. One of the biggest mistakes people have is they don't have the right data. Who's the person that is most likely to buy from them? And they don't have enough quantity of the right data, or we just say for simplicity, contact info. So number one, you have to know who you're reaching out to, and you have to have a lot of data. A lot of times people reaching out, they might think, well, I reached out to 100 people. It feels like a lot. You got to think on very large numbers. Mm-hmm. You got to think tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and depending on the size of your company, sometimes even millions of people per month, right? So number one, I have to have a very large data set. And I have to have the right data of contact information. I got to make sure who I'm reaching out to, it's the right person, the right audience, and that this audience is going to have a need for my service. Number one. Number two is we have to have the right information on simply what is keeping this person up at night, stressed out, eyes staring at the ceiling, because they don't want our coaching program. They want a solution to their problem. And we have to now figure out what is that thing that are the majority of our audience, the mass desire, the mass problem, the common thing that all of them are staring at the ceiling, like stressed out, can't sleep at night. And then we have to create compelling messaging that says, hey, if we could help you fix XYZ, would it be worth your time for a call? Now, I wouldn't say that exact thing, but that's the concept. So number one, we have to have a very large amount of data, the right contact info of an audience that's going to have that common problem. Number two is we have to have a very direct approach that speaks to the thing that they're stressed out about, not about how cool our coaching program is, because no one cares about us at all. You don't care about any of the programs you bought before. You didn't care about how cool the program was. You cared about the problem that it solved, right? And then once you have the right audience, number one, the right messaging for the audience, number two, now number three, you have to have the right processes and systems to be able to scale this, repeat this, and grow this over time. Process is so clean and clear that it could be run by you, it could be run by somebody else. You know what pieces of the process you could automate, what pieces of the process are manual, so that it's systematic and it's predictable. Yes. So that's the three things you have to have for outbound: audience, messaging, and then processes and systems. Too often, people come to us and they think like the next AI software is the magic bullet for their thing. They think the next tool is what it takes to win in this market, or if I just do 100 reach outs, that's what it's going to take. And in this market, it's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people you're up against. And so you have to have those three things. Here's the cool thing about it. If you have those three things, you have massive amounts of the right data, you have the right compelling messaging, and you have processes and systems that allow you to scale with predictability. You can dominate your marketplace very, very quickly.
Yes, because the majority of coaches are not doing this.
Correct.
They're not doing direct outreach. So the reason why our clients get such great results is because they are taking this approach and it works, and they're getting clients and they're growing their revenue, and it's predictable and they have consistency. So this works, ladies and gents. And if you take that active approach to go out and find your ideal clients, get them on a call, you're going to be successful with this. We work with a lot of coaching influencers. They have millions of followers on social media. They're very well known. And even in just interacting with them, we know that they're not getting their clients from posting on social media. They're not getting their clients from social media, period, right? They have different strategies that they're using, one of them being outbound to actually get their clients. They're actively going out and reaching them regardless of how large their social media following is. So don't be fooled, ladies and gents. If somebody is selling you a social media course to get clients, know that sometimes that isn't the best approach for your business. But we know through data, and it's proven, direct outreach will always get you results when done the right way.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, we have, and it's not to say that our clients that have big followers aren't making some money in revenue off their books and their platforms and their followers. They are. But I think what people would be surprised and shocked with is how really big influencers, how little money they actually are making off of the size of their following. And we have a lot of times people reaching out to us, and we know their numbers, we know their sales, and they're not making a lot of times as much as you think that they would be making from that.
Yeah.
Where when they are making money, it is when they're doing paid ad funnels, if they're really advanced, direct outreach, if they're working with us. Like, these kind of channels are what's going to get them the most scale. And when you look at going to direct outreach, you have a very high level of profitability, because your ongoing cost to do a direct outreach is significantly lower than it actually costs to build an audience or to run ads or any of these pieces. And so a lot of these big companies come to us either because they've maxed their ad platforms and their margins aren't very good, they're losing a lot of money there, or because their audience isn't getting them as much predictability, because there's a lot of up and downs. And they come to us because they're looking for scale with high profit margins. And that's the great thing about doing direct outreach, cold call, cold email, direct DMs, is that you can have scalability with a high profit margin, which allows you to, we don't want to just grow big businesses and say, hey, look at all this money we made, and then not be making any profit. A healthy business is also pulling healthy profits.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is not just for large coaching companies, right? This is even if you are just starting your coaching business or even thinking of starting a coaching business. If you want to grow, there is room for you in doing direct outreach. We recently brought on a client. She's she's just a solo coach. She's doing an okay amount of revenue, but it wasn't predictable based on referrals. And within 2 to 3 weeks, we got her on calls with her ideal clients, and she was blown away by how fast it worked. And because of the information that we have, and because direct outreach is predictable and it's proven to work, she was able to grow and sustain her coaching business. So it doesn't matter what size you are when you're listening to this, whether you're a really large company or you're just starting out. Our number one message to all coaches is go out and actively find your ideal clients, because that active approach versus being passive is what is going to allow you to grow and sustain your business.
Yeah. I mean, we have people that are already doing, 8 figures, 20, 30 million, and they're looking to add another 10, 20 million to the revenue and beyond. We have some clients that are brand new businesses. And like you said, this works, and it works for everybody.
Evens the playing field.
Evens the playing field. And the reality is, it's like the biggest secret hiding in plain sight, because guess who uses direct outreach? Guess who uses the proactive strategy? billion-dollar companies. Right? You look at billion-dollar companies, it's one of the most common marketing strategies is to have outreach, is to have outbound. So it's like this billion-dollar companies use this, small startups use this to become billion-dollar companies. And the biggest companies, the biggest influencers, once they reach a cap with their audience size, they have to use outbound to keep growing and scaling. And so what I love about this, like you said, is this works if you're a fledgling brand new startup with very low capital, all the way to, hey, we're looking to go past $100 million a year in revenue. Hey, we're looking to go to $1 billion. This is what those billion-dollar companies do to get to that size and to sustain that size of revenue.
Absolutely. So that was our number one message to all coaches. If you want to grow your business, if you don't have to use the strategy at all. But if you do, I know you're listening to this episode because you want to know how to win in all areas of life and business. Go actively find your ideal clients. This is what I wish I knew when I was just starting out my coaching business, and what other coaches tell us all the time, that they wish they had started on this sooner. So take this advice, utilize it for your business. business. If you want to know how to get started on outbound, click the link in the show notes. Right underneath this, in the show notes, we have a link that you can get started with our outbound sales playbook. This is Tim and Cindy with a Takeover. Stay winning.